Hello everyone, my name is Hannah and welcome to a new reading vlog. Today's reading vlog is going to be my spoilery thoughts on The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, and Crown of Midnight. So at least I think those will be the first 3 books that I'll include in this vlog. So I wanted to do a reread of my favorite series of all time. I have reread it several times already, but I just want to reread it again. I mean, nobody is surprised by this. Obviously, I love Sarah J. Maas and I love this series so much. And usually I try to reread these books like, I don't know, every year or so. And it's been about a year since I've read these when I did my read along with my friend Christina from Christina's Chapters. And I'm feeling it. I want to do a reread again and I'm so excited. I love these books so much and these characters so much. It literally is just wonderful. I love it so much. But yes, this will be like my full spoilers. I haven't done a vlog with the Throne of Glass books where I've talked about the spoilers. I did a vlog for the ACOTAR series when I reread the ACOTAR series, I don't know, a few years ago. Like, I obviously reread that one all the time too, but I decided to film a spoilery vlog for it since I talk about it all the time on my channel, how much I love these, but I don't have any like videos or vlogs where I like actually go into spoilers and what's happening in the books. And since they're so popular, I figured that it would be okay for me to go into in-depth spoilers for this. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm really excited about it because I love talking about these books. I will link all of my read-along like live show discussions, or at least the playlist for that, down in the description down below. So when Christina and I did the read-along, we had a live show where we talked for at least an hour every time. Most of the time we talked for over an hour, just like in depth about our thoughts on the spoilers and like our thoughts on the books. So if you're interested in that, I will leave that playlist link down below. But otherwise, this is just going to be kind of like a reading vlog style where I read the books again and discuss spoilers. So I will say, if you haven't read this series yet, please go read it and start with The Assassin's Blade. And don't watch this video until you do, because I'm going to talk spoilers. I will put up a spoiler warning if I'm going to talk about the later books in this vlog, because I don't want to, like, if you're just coming on this and you've only read the first 2 or 3 books, I don't want to spoil the later series. So I will put a spoiler warning up for if I'm talking about later books, but otherwise this is the spoiler warning for these books. Like, as I read them, I will be talking spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please go now. But yeah, I just wanted to film this intro because I'm going to be starting The Assassin's Blade, which is the correct book to start with. It's the first book. You need to read The Assassin's Blade before reading the rest of the series. So yeah, welcome to the vlog. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you when I start The Assassin's Blade. Okay, it's 9 o'clock now, and I'm finally starting The Assassin's Blade. I did put my tabbing system in here with some washi tape, and I mean, I had to underline the first line of the story. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've got my little bee here. I don't know if I've talked about this little bee before. I just got him like last weekend. It is a handmade crochet little soft little bee, and I got him for $5, and he's the cutest thing ever, and he's my little emotional support guy because he makes me so happy. You can't look at this and not smile. Look at how cute he is. He's adorable. Anyways, so yeah, I need him. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to read the first story, The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed. And I'll read more in the morning. So I'm gonna go read. Okay, I have started The Assassin's Blade, and I read the first novella, The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, and can I just say, okay, I know that I talked about how this is like my favorite series of all time, and I've reread it so many times, but honestly, I'm not trying to be dramatic when I say reading this series feels like coming home. It is so nostalgic for me, and literally I wanted to cry from like the very first line just reading Selena Sardothian, and I was like just getting super emotional, and like I'm reading about Sam. I love Sam Cortland. I love him so much. So imagine how painful this book is for me. Yeah, and I'm only in the first novella, so like we get more attached to Sam in The Assassin in the Underworld and The Assassin in the Empire, and so yeah, I'm trying to prepare myself for the pain because like I literally know what's coming. It's just I just love Sam so much. And I was crying last night after I finished The Assassin and the Pirate Lord. There's this line that Selena says. She says, Sam smiled, his brown eyes turning golden in the dawn. It was such a Sam look, a twinkle of mischief, the hint of exasperation, the kindness that would always, always make him a better person than she was. Then like she hugs him and she's like, if you ever tell anyone that I'm embracing you, I'll gut you. And he starts laughing, and I just love him. I just love him. But yeah, I'm already annotating and I'm having a great time. So I'm going to read more of this today. I might even be able to finish this today. So I just thought I would check in and tell you that I am already getting emotional and I'm not even 100 pages into the book. Okay, hello. It is Sunday now, and I have read the first 3 novellas in The Assassin's Blade. I am now on The Assassin in the Underworld, so shit's about to go down. I don't know. I'm gonna have to finish my reread before I decide which novella is my favorite. I think it is The Assassin in the Underworld. I think that one's my favorite, but I do really like The Assassin and the Pirate Lord and The Assassin in the Desert. Love Ansel in The Assassin in the Desert. And oh, also there is a stunning quote in The Assassin and the Healer. Let me find it. So she's talking, it's Irene talking, and she says, the girl's eyes flashed to hers. They were ringed with gold, stunning. Even with the bruises, the girl was alluring, like wildfire or a summer storm swept off the Gulf of Oro. And then on the next page it says, this girl wasn't like wildfire. She was wildfire. Deadly and uncontrollable, and slightly out of her wits. And I just love anytime wildfire comes, because it's a reoccurring thing throughout the series. So I just really like that. Oh my god, Arabin beating the shit out of Selena, that part, oh my god. That flashback where she remembers that they had to hold Sam back, and Arabin just kept beating her, and all she could hear was Sam screaming, but she can't remember what he's screaming, and she later remembers that he says, I'll kill you, because he's so protective of her because he loves her. Oh my god, yeah, the Asterian horses scene where Ansel and Selena steal the horses. I love that scene so much. I really do like Ansel, despite the betrayal in this book. But yeah, I'm having a grand old time, and I'm gonna go finish this, and I'm probably gonna cry a lot, so I will see you once I finish this. I finished. Okay, let's talk about it. So, we've got The Assassin in the Underworld, where we get a lot of great Sam moments and cute moments between Sam and Selena. We get the scene where they're all at the theater, and she's seeing this dance and hearing this music from the orchestra, and she's crying from it, and she's extremely moved by it, and she's trying to recreate it on her piano at home, and Sam buys her the sheet music for it and says, try not to stain them with your tears when you play. It took a lot of bribes to get these. That is such a thoughtful gift. He's so cute. I love him. Oh, the sewer scene. Yeah, that moment where Selena's trapped under the sewers and she's about to drown, and Sam comes just in the nick of time, but she's literally so close to drowning. He's literally begging, saying, please, Sam, beg, please don't, please. Oh, that moment. And then Selena says, take my body home to Terrace and Sam. Then Selena pays off Arabin, because Arabin, god, he is such a piece of shit. I hate him so much. He's just terrible. He is a evil man. But she finally pays off all her debt to him, so she is free of him. She can leave whenever she wants. And Sam is if I had paid it all off, I would leave. I would leave. And he's talking about how he's gonna move and move countries, and she's no, you can't leave. And he's give me one reason why I shouldn't. And so they're arguing back and forth, and we get is it a trope or a micro trope where they're arguing and shouting, and then somebody's because I love you. And that is kryptonite to me. That is what happens here. So she says, but why can't you let it go? He grabbed her by the shoulders and shook her. Because I love you. Her mouth fell open. I love you, he repeated, shaking her again. I have for years. And he hurt you and made me watch, because he had always known how I felt. But if I asked you to pick, you would choose Arabin, and I can't take it. And then Selena says, you're a damned idiot, she breathed. You're a moron and an ass and a damned idiot, because I'd pick you. And then she kisses him. Because I'd pick you. Oh, the fact that he's been pining after her for years, just, oh, what a moment. Oh, another stunning Sam quote. I love you, he breathed against her mouth, and from today onward, I want to never be separated from you. Wherever you go, I go. Even if that means going to hell itself, wherever you are, that's where I want to be forever. I don't understand when people read this and say that they didn't feel an emotional connection to Sam. How? Literally how? Yeah, okay, so I think The Assassin in the Underworld is my favorite of the novellas. And then we get to The Assassin in the Empire. And the pain. We've got it starting with Selena already in the prison wagon, so you know it's not gonna end well. And then we get the story leading up to it. So basically, Sam and Selena have moved out of the keep, and they're like trying to get free from Arobyn's clutches. And they're like gonna leave the city, and they're gonna do like one final job to get money so that they can go, so that they're not like destitute at their next destination. So they're gonna do one final job, and they're like arguing about it and stuff, and Sam says, "I just want to be with you," he murmured. "I don't care where we go, that's all I want." Like but yeah, they're doing this one final job, and like you can tell too from like the tone of it, like the words that they're saying, you're like, you just know it's not gonna end well. Because Sam literally says, "We have all the time in the world." Don't, though, you don't. We have this stunning moment where Selena says, "I'm a coward and I'm scared all the time." And Sam says, "Whenever I'm scared out of my wits, I tell myself, my name is Sam Cortland and I will not be afraid." And then the job is to take out basically the big crime lord in Rifthold. And Sam gets captured. And we go through like several pages of Selena like being worried for him and like not wanting to help, because he was like so adamant that he was going to do this on his own. He was like, "No, we can't do it together. Like, I have to do this." And so even though she was worried and wanting to go out and look for him, like she kept holding herself back, because she was like, "I'm probably just making a big deal out of this. It's probably nothing. Like, he's probably fine." But he's not. And he gets captured, and he gets tortured, and he gets killed. And the scene, first of all, where Arobyn is the one like telling her like, "No, you don't want to see this." Like, what a manipulative, evil man. Like, because obviously we know from the end, like, he's the one responsible for this. Like, he set them up. Because he like has this like weird possessive thing over Selena. I just hate him. But yeah, we get this scene where she sees Sam's body, and that is so heartbreaking. And the soap, the smell of the soap. And then we end with her trying to go get revenge, but it was, again, all a setup because of Arobyn getting captured, getting sentenced to like life in Endovier in this terrible slave camp, and then freaking Arobyn standing and being like, "Oh, well, I guess I didn't see that coming, but I'm not gonna go save her yet. Like, this has all been a setup for her." And he says like the nasty line of like, "Because I don't like sharing my possessions," or whatever he says. Fucking shitbag. "Because I don't like sharing my belongings." And then like the final scene is Selena arriving at Endovier and saying, like, telling herself, "My name is Selena Sardathian and I will not be afraid." And like that line, that kills me. And especially knowing that it came from Sam. My boy Sam. I just love him so much. He deserved better. He deserved better. Yeah, this book is always painful because I get really attached to Sam, and I know obviously how it ends, and like I know that he dies, so it's really painful. But yeah, finished my reread of The Assassin's Blade. I don't know when I'll be picking up Throne of Glass, because I'm not going to read them like back to back to back throughout this reread. I'm gonna read some other fantasy romances that I've like been filming a vlog for, and I'm probably gonna read a couple other things, but I'll be picking up Throne of Glass in the next couple weeks here. So we'll just cut to that clip and I'll let you know how much time it's been, but we'll cut to that for whenever I pick up Throne of Glass. Alright, hello everyone. It's been a little while since I've filmed for this vlog. It's been at least a month, probably more than a month. But that's okay because you can't tell, it was only a few seconds for you. So I'm about to start reading Throne of Glass, and I figured I would do a little check-in because one, I have my Rowan Whitethorn shirt on from the shop Blossom and Book, and I just, you know, it's just perfect. It's perfect. I just wanted to show it off. I mean, I love these t-shirts. They are a little bit pricey and they do kind of fade a bit, but this is my first time wearing this one and I really love it. So like the wings, I hope you can see that. And then also I have a package that I have been waiting to unbox. I've been waiting to open it until I was filming for this vlog again because it's from the Dusty shop and it is page overlays for Throne of Glass. They're called cinematic page overlays because some of them are like 2 full page things. So I'm really excited to see them. So let's open those. What? That didn't work. I love page overlays. I just think they make the reading experience so much fun. So I'm going to show those now and then I'm going to put them into my annotated hardcover of Throne of Glass. But at this point, like, this is a spoiler-filled vlog, so there are spoilers here if you haven't read Throne of Glass. There will be like some probably slight spoilers in the artwork on this. So if you don't want to see any of that, maybe you should stop watching this video and go read the series. Okay, I got it now. So the first one is called The Sleepless Assassin. So it's Selena over here. Oh, and she's got like chains on and stuff. I'm assuming this is Kale. And then the glass castle over here. Wow, this is so gorgeous. So this is like a double page, so I think I've got to fold it in half, which I'm a little nervous about, but I'll do that after. The next one's called An Act of Kindness, and it's the scene where she jumps to save Knox. I love this scene so much, and I love the depiction of it. Oh, this has me so excited. Okay, then we've got a hidden passage. So we've got the hidden passage behind the tapestry in Selena's bedroom. Oh, the detail on this is really cool. The books on her bed, oh my god. The Lord of the North painting. Stunning. Okay, then a forgotten tomb. So we've got Gavin and Elena's tomb and Damaris over here. Oh my god, look at Selena's braid. Oh, I love it. Oh, and there's like word marks on the wall and stuff. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, then An Unexpected Guest. So this is Selena over here and assuming Kale, maybe Dorian? I thought Kale was the one who like stopped her at the ball, but there's the ball. And we've got the summoning. So Kane summoning the, what's it called? Ritterak or something like that. And then the last one, this one is so, like, this literally is cinematic. It's the duel at the end with Kane, with all of, like, the beasts and stuff. Oh, and you've got Nehemia and Dorian and Kale. Oh my god, I just love it. And, like, fighting. Oh, this looks so good. Oh my god, I can't wait to put these in there. Yeah, so they're doing, like, 8 overlays for each book, so I'm very excited. They just did like a little teaser of like the Crown of Midnight ones are coming, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go put those in my book now, and I'll probably show you like some b-roll of what it looks like in the book, and then I'm gonna go read Throne of Glass. I'm about 100 pages in now, and I figured I would do a little check-in. So as you saw from the b-roll, I put in the page overlays into my book, and I kind of tried to show that the page overlays don't fit my copy. I think that they were designed and like the measurements are for like the new box set, but not necessarily the new covers box set, like the old covers but the new box set, if that is making any sense at all. But yeah, I think they, for some reason, like who knows why, but they changed the dimensions, and so my page overlays stick out, and I'm just like not willing to buy a whole box set just so the page overlays fit. So my copies, they're gonna have to stick out that little like 1/4 inch or whatever it is. But they are really pretty, and I'm really glad that I have them. So I will still continue to get them. They're just gonna have to stick out. So that's just how it's gonna be for me. But yeah, so we start the book obviously off with Celaena getting picked up from Endovier by Chaol and Dorian, and they travel back, and I just love right from the start how like sassy and arrogant and confident she is. I know a lot of people, like their main complaint about this series is that they don't like Celaena's character because she's so cocky and arrogant, and I'm like, I just absolutely love that about her. I love her personality, and there's so much foreshadowing in this. Like I know I talked about that with Assassin's Blade as well, how much foreshadowing there is, but like I love seeing it because I'm like, oh, I know what's coming. I know what's coming around the bend. I just really like all of the foreshadowing for the later books and stuff. And there is that one line that Dorian has where he's like looking at Celaena and she's like looking up at the sky, and it says, "Still the image haunted his dreams throughout the night, a lovely girl gazing at the stars, and the stars who gazed back." I love that line so much. But yeah, so she's in the competition now. She's like training and stuff for it. And honestly, I am such a sucker for training sequences. I love all of the like training and like watching her like, you know, duel against Chaol like as a warm-up and whatever, and like where she does all these exercises and where she's running and stuff. I love that so much. And now that we've met Nehemia, so I love their interaction where Celaena is like able to speak Eelway, and so she's like translating and everyone else is like, what are you even saying? I love that. But yeah, just basically getting into the swing of the story. I just figured I would do a little check-in because I'm just having a blast. So I'm gonna get back to reading, and I'm gonna try to get to halfway before my next check-in, so probably to like the 200 page mark or so. Back to reading. All right, I'm actually on page 253 now, so I'm over the halfway mark, and I figured I would do another check-in. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this tonight, but I'm hoping that I can get like, I don't know, at least like 3/4 of the way through it. But a lot has happened since my last check-in, so let's look. Oh, I wanted to talk about how Celaena says, "My name is Celaena Sardathian and I will not be afraid," and like how that's come up multiple times so far in Throne of Glass. I just don't understand the people who read the Assassin's Blade later in the series. Like, you would have read this first and not known the backstory of that and like where that came from. And every time she says it, like my heart clenches because I think of Sam and how he was the one who taught her that. And the fact that like she's brought up Sam multiple times and like talked about what happened and just like mentioned like how she wishes that he was there. And it just breaks my heart because like I love Sam. I love him so much. And yeah, I just feel like if you didn't read Assassin's Blade first, you're reading this and you have no emotional connection to him at all. And you're just like, okay, so this is just like a guy from her past. You don't have any of the backstory. You haven't fallen in love with him just to watch him die. And I don't know. I just don't understand the people that are like, it's more of an emotional impact to read the Assassin's Blade after like Heir of Fire. And I'm like, literally how? I just don't get it. Let's see, what are some of the good quotes? Oh, page 122, "We each survive in our own way." I like that quote. Oh, this one. So she was playing piano, and again, this is where she like brings up Sam, but she's playing piano and playing like this really melancholy song, and this part right here just says, like as she's playing, it says, "Somewhere in her mind, after a year of darkness and slavery, music was still alive and breathing. That somewhere between the notes was Sam. She forgot about time as she drifted between pieces, voicing the unspeakable, opening old wounds, playing and playing as the sound forgave and saved her. And I'm just like, that writing right there, oh, so beautiful. Oh, another really good quote is when Selena says, I can survive well enough on my own if given proper reading material. I love that she's a little bookworm. But yeah, we've gotten a little bit more into the competition now, and you're just, you know, you're seeing all this stuff. You see that scene where she saves Knox Owen from, like, when he like falls when they're trying to like scale the building, and his like rope gets cut and she literally dives after him to save him. I love that scene so much, and I'm so happy that one of the page overlays was that scene because it's such an iconic Selena moment. We're also learning more about the word marks, and I'm like tabbing because like anytime it's mentioned where there's like multiple worlds, I'm like studying it like a textbook. Also find the like hidden tomb, the hidden passageway to Elena and Gavin's tomb. And then we see Elena, who is kind of like a ghost. She's not a ghost, like she says she's not a ghost, but she's basically a ghost. And she's talking about like kind of like this fate, like it was fate that Selena was trained as an assassin, and it's fate that she's brought here to the castle at this point in time, and like all this stuff. And she's being very cryptic and vague, and I just remember being so frustrated with Elena because I'm like, just tell her straight up, like, why are you speaking in riddles? What is going on? But yeah, all of the champions that are like dying and being killed off. So there's like the champion, like, what is it, the trials and stuff that they're doing that is like potentially killing them, but then there's also like some mysterious thing killing them at night, and Selena's like obviously very worried about that. And her friendship with Princess Nehemia has gotten a lot stronger, and I just read the scene where the 500 Eelway rebels were butchered, and Nehemia's like, I didn't know where else to go, and she goes to Selena. That part's so sad. So yeah, that is where I'm at right now. I'm still annotating and tabbing and just like feeling so much nostalgia right now. It's also got me just so excited for the rest of the series because of all of the foreshadowing and the hints to like what's gonna happen in later books. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that to like become a thing that's really important. Yeah, I mean, I could say it 1,000 times in this vlog. I'm sure I've said it so many times, but I love this series so much. It literally feels like coming home. It is the most like magical, nostalgic experience of reading that I've ever had. I just love it so much. So yeah, I figured I would do another check-in because it's been 150 pages. So my next check-in will probably be when I finish this. So I will see you at the end of this book.
You could be different, Elena said quietly. You could be great. Greater than me, than any of us. Selena opened her mouth, but no words came out. Elena took a step toward her. You could rattle the stars, she whispered. You could do anything, if you only dared. And deep down you know it too. That's what scares you most. When the amulet snapped and you let your need be felt, you knew someone would answer. You knew I would answer. Why? Selena dared ask. Why answer? Why do I need to be the king's champion? Elena lifted her face toward the moonlight streaming into the tomb. Because there are people who need you to save them as much as you yourself need to be saved, she said. Deny it all you want, but there are people, your friends, who need you here. Your friend Nehemia needs you here. Because I was sleeping, a long, endless sleep, and I was awoken by a voice. And the voice didn't belong to one person, but to many. Some whispering, some screaming, some not even aware that they were crying out. But they all want the same thing.
Okay, I finished reading Throne of Glass, and we need to talk about what happens at the end of this book. So let's see. I was at like page 250, I think, when I did my last check-in. So a lot goes down in that last 150 pages or so. Oh, Dorian does give Selena Fleetfoot for Christmas, or Yulemas. And there's that scene where Selena eats like an entire like 3-pound bag of candy. That is really, really funny. And then we have the Yulemas masked ball. So it's a very like Cinderella moment. I know that Sarah J. Maas said that this was like her like original concept for Throne of Glass was a Cinderella retelling where she goes to the ball, but her like secret isn't that she's like a pauper, it's that she's an assassin, and that's like where she got the idea from. So the fact that there is like a masked ball and she's like in this stunning gown that is like reminiscent of Cinderella's gown, I really like that part. And I'm just like a sucker for masked balls. I think they need to be in more books. Selena has the stunning line where she says, "We all bear scars, Dorian. Mine just happen to be more visible than most." Another stunning quote, this is, well, it's not necessarily, I mean, it's the whole scene that I really like, but it's where Nehemia like renames Selena. So like the whole idea of names having meaning. Names are not important. It's what lies inside of you that matters. You bear many names, and so I shall name you as well. I name you Alentia. I give you this name to use with honor, to use when other names grow too heavy. I name you Alentia, spirit that could not be broken. And I just think that's so beautiful. Their friendship, Nehemia and Selena's friendship, I just absolutely love. There's also a lot more references to what like things that happened in the Assassin's Blade, which is again another reason where I'm like, how did people read this without reading Assassin's Blade first? Like, I would have found that so frustrating to have her like mentioning things that happened in her past, because she mentions like this friendship that she had and how she was betrayed, and you're like, what the heck is going on? What do you mean? If you didn't read Assassin's Blade, you have no idea what she's talking about. Whereas like if you read Assassin's Blade first, you see her develop this friendship with Ansel, and then that betrayal and like how that really affects her, because she keeps saying like, I'm not going to trust girls anymore. And like if you read that, you'd probably be like, what the hell, she doesn't trust girls, like. But without the backstory, I don't know, I just will never understand the people that are like die hard, don't read Assassin's Blade first. It makes no sense to me. Oh, we have another stunning quote where they're like just about to duel, and there's like the final four, and she goes against Grave, who has been like super gross and like just calling her like all these names and like making fun of her and stuff, and she just like kicks his ass in less than 2 minutes and says, my name is Selena Sardathian, but it makes no difference if my name's Selena or Lillian or bitch, because I'd still beat you no matter what you call me. Oh, what a queen. And then we have the duel with Cain, so where we finally like figure out like he's been killing all of these other competitors so that he can gain like strength from them, and he's like calling on these like otherworldly things and opening portals to other worlds. And we get the manipulated Keltane who poisons Selena in that final duel, so she's drugged the whole time. We get the scene, this scene gives me goosebumps, where Chaol comes to the edge of the ring and says, "Get up." And it's like she can't bring herself to look at him. It was over. She was going to die. "Get up," Chaol said again louder. And he says it so many times. That, like, get up. Like, oh, so powerful. And at the very end of that same chapter where he says, "Get up," it says, "Cain was close, not a trace of shadow around him. Selena lifted the jagged remnant of the staff in her hand. Her gaze cleared. And so, struggling and shaking, Selena stood." Like, come on. And also the fact that, like, throughout this whole duel, she's saying, "I will not be afraid. I will not be afraid." Like, it just gets me every time. But yeah, so then Selena finally is able to win with the help of Elena, like the long dead queen, and she helps clear Selena's head of the drug, and then Selena is able to beat Cain finally, and then Cain goes to stab her in the back and like kill her when she's not looking, and Chaol then has to kill Cain. And that's like Chaol's first kill, which is a very intense moment. That whole ending scene where it's like Selena is battling Cain and there's like all these creatures that not everybody can see and these portals opening to different worlds. Like, that's why I think the page overlay did that scene like such justice, because it really like displayed what was going on and how like epic that scene was. But yeah, Selena finally wins and becomes the King's champion, and then she's like, "I can't, be with Dorian because I'm gonna be working for his father," and so she like puts up that boundary that she's not going to be with Dorian, and he's like saying things like he fell in love with her and stuff. He also has a stunning quote that he's telling his father. It says, "She's not a monster," Dorian said. "Everything she's done, she did to survive." And then, of course, we have the stunning scene at the very end with Elena on page 399 with one of the most iconic quotes from the series, if not the most iconic quote from the series, which is, "You could be different, you could be great, greater than me, than any of us. You could rattle the stars. You could do anything if you only dared, and deep down you know it too. That's what scares you most." That, "you could rattle the stars," I swear to God, when I read that for the first time, it changed something inside me, and the fact that it is a reoccurring thing that comes up throughout the series, it's stunning. I love it. So yeah, then we leave off with Selena being the King's champion, and the king like threatens her basically like, "If you don't do what I tell you to, I'll kill Chaol, I'll kill Nehemia, I'll kill her whole family, so like stay in line." And so she's got this like looming over her head, and that's where we end the book. And like I said in one of the last clips, all of the foreshadowing that happens for like things in later books, I'm just like, how did she plan all this out? Like, Sarah J. Maas is just an absolute literary genius, and I cannot wait for when those things come up and like become important in the later books, because I swear whenever that vlog comes out for those later books, I'm gonna point out how early that seed was planted, and it's so stunning. Anyways, so I finished Throne of Glass, and now I'm moving on to Crown of Midnight, which is going to be the last book for this vlog, so part 1 of my rereading the Throne of Glass series. I've already got my annotation key set up for this one, so I'm ready to dive in, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna try to get to like halfway today and then finish it out tomorrow. I don't know, maybe I'll try to get a little farther than halfway today. Who knows? I do have a lot of things that I need to like do and get done in the next couple of days, but this might be like my last like book that I'll be able to read in July, even though it's only like the 24th. But I'm not going to rush it. I'm just going to take my time with it, because again, when I'm annotating, I listen to the audiobook slower, I'm reading it slower, I'm taking my time, just really absorbing everything, and I'm having a great time rereading it. So on to the next, and I will update when I get a bit farther, well, when I get any farther into Crown of Midnight. All right, hello. I have started Crown of Midnight, and I'm actually quite a ways into it, and I just haven't filmed an update. I am on page 276, so I'm like 2/3 of the way through this at this point. And yeah, I just like sat down and read and read and read, and I just didn't film an update. So we've got a lot to talk about. So basically this book just picks up right where Throne of Glass left off. I think it's set like 2 months after the ending of Throne of Glass. We know Celaena is sent on these missions to assassinate people, and we find out that she hasn't actually been killing any of them. She's been helping them flee, which is kind of her like FU to the king because she doesn't want to be working for him. But everybody else thinks that she is killing them. Like Dorian and Chaol and Nehemia, they're all kind of like side-eyeing her, and she's like, guys, relax. We're also getting the relationship development between Chaol and Celaena, and if you don't know this at this point, I'm just gonna say it point blank, I do not like Chaol. If you can't tell, I don't like him. This is like, you know, the book where like he becomes the main love interest, and like, I just don't like it. There are some like cute moments between them, but they're like moments where I'm like, you guys are just friends. But we do get the big thing that happens in this book, which is Nehemia's death. So let's talk about that. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Chaol gets captured, and Celaena is like, not on my watch, and she goes and like rescues him in the most badass way possible. That scene where she breaks into the warehouse and is like, before she even lands, she's got daggers flying and like she's taking out all of these guys, and the fact that Chaol has that line, what does he say? Right here where the like people that captured him say she's just one girl, and Chaol laughs and says, then you're really in for a surprise. And then she just comes through and it's like daggers flying, and she was a whirlwind of steel and blood. And I just, that whole scene where she rescues him, such a cool like badass action moment. But then that chapter ends with Celaena being like, where is Nehemia? Where is Nehemia? And we find out that Nehemia has been helping the rebels, and that there's like a threat on her life that Chaol knew about and didn't tell Celaena, and now Nehemia is like at risk. And so Celaena goes back to the castle, and like what Chaol says, he says, I've never seen anyone move like she did. I've never seen anyone run that fast. Dorian, it was like, he shakes his head, I found a horse within seconds of her taking off, and she still outran me. Who can do that? But by the time she gets back, she doesn't make it, and Nehemia is dead. So she's definitely taking a like dark turn where she's just like not okay. She attacks Chaol and like scratches down his face, and Dorian actually has magic now and stops her from killing him. We didn't even talk about Dorian's magic, how he has like this magic within him, and he was talking to the witch. And so Dorian is able to like stop her, and they put her in the dungeon, and Dorian says, how long will you keep her here? And Chaol says, as long as it takes. For what? For her to decide not to kill us all. Because she makes the comment of like, you will always be my enemy, because it's like he works for Otterlin. And then we have Celaena in the dungeons, and we have this stunning quote of, but death was her curse and her gift, and death had been her good friend these long, long years. And she's down there with Kaltain, who we get this moment from those two, because they're basically talking about how much they hate Otterlin and like the king and Duke Parrington and like all those people. And Kaltain says, if they let you out, make sure they're punished someday, every last one of them. And then Celaena says, they will be. But yeah, so Celaena is in a very dark place right now. She's spiraling. She is very depressed. She went and, you know, got into like this killing calm and went and killed Grave, who was the one who like actually murdered Nehemia, and just basically rips him apart. And Chaol and Dorian both make the comment of like, the girl that they knew and they loved is nowhere to be found, because like she's not the same anymore. And that's basically where I'm at. So I know that the ending of this book gets so much more action-packed, but yeah, I was like, I put the book down yesterday because I was like, I'm not going to be able to finish it all tonight, so I'll finish it tomorrow. And then I realized like I hadn't talked at all to the vlog. So just a quick little recap of what went down, but this book, man, it's so good. I feel like it's very underrated in the series. And, like, the fact that Dorian has magic is such a huge revelation because, like, the king could kill him for that. And I love that he's, like, he's got no idea what's going on. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. So I'm probably gonna go sit down and finish this right now. I've got, like, what? Like 150 pages left, I think, to finish it. And then I'll come back and do, like, my final recap of the book and wrap up this vlog. So I'm gonna go and finish Crown of Midnight. Okay, I just finished Crown of Midnight, and oh, it doesn't matter how many times I read this, the ending of this book still gives me chills every single time. It's, oh my god, I didn't wait at all. Like, I literally just finished. I didn't wait at all to, like, calm myself down before filming this update. But yeah, let's go back and talk about what happened. So we get the scene where Celaena goes to Baba Yellowlegs and is, like, asking her questions and talking, and finds out that Dorian, like, went and saw her, and she knows that he has magic, and she's, like, willing to sell that information. So Celaena finds out what she needs to know about the word keys and the word gates, and that she needs to look for these word keys because the king has these word keys and he can open portals to other worlds, and basically, like, he can conquer if he's got all three of them. And she knows he for sure has at least one. And then because Baba Yellowlegs knows about Dorian's magic, Celaena's like, I'm gonna have to kill her. So they have that big battle where she finally, like, kills her. Then there's the scene in the library where Celaena, like, goes down into, like, the dungeons, like the catacombs down there, and there's, like, a creature down there, and her and Dorian have to kind of work together to, like, trap it and kill it because, like, it's ridiculous. And so she finds out then that Dorian, like, for sure has magic. And then Celaena goes and opens up the portal to the other world because she wants to see Nehemia and just, like, talk to Nehemia because she's grieving, but also find out what she knows about the word keys and the word gates and all that stuff. And that creature comes through, and so then Dorian and Chaol have to try to, like, help with this creature, and Chaol jumps through the portal after Fleetfoot, and then Celaena goes in after Chaol, and we find out that she's Fae. And I remember the first time reading this, that realization, I was like, oh, here we go. So she ends up saving Chaol. They come back, and, like, because, like, in this world that they're in, she doesn't have magic. Like, magic, something happened that banished magic, and so she's back to her human form. But then Chaol is like, if anybody finds out about this secret, they're gonna execute her. So he works up with this deal with his father to send her away to this distant land called Wendlin, where he's, like, gonna put her on this kind of fake mission. Like, it's still, like, a real mission, but she's not gonna actually do it, but where she'll be safe and, like, be away from the castle and stuff. And so we end the book with her going to Wendlin, but before she leaves, she drops a bomb on Chaol's life. She basically tells him this date, and he's like, what does that mean? And she's like, you'll figure it out. And then she sails away, and he's, like, trying to work out what this date means, and he finds, like, all of these, like, ledgers and, like, genealogies and stuff about these, like, the royal family in Terrasen. And he's like, maybe she's trying to tell me that she knows where, like, the lost princess Aelin is. And then he stumbles across this poem on the very last page, and I kid you not, this last page, it always gives me goosebumps. Like, oh god. So this poem says, Ash River eyes, the fairest eyes from legends old, of brightest blue ringed with gold. And he's like, brightest blue ringed with gold, that's Celaena's eyes. And he's like, Celaena Sardathian wasn't in league with Aelin Ashriver Galathinius. Celaena Sardathian was Aelin Ashriver Galathinius, heir to the throne and rightful queen of Terrasen, and, like, the biggest threat to his kingdom. And she's the long lost princess. She's the queen. It gets me every time. That just freaking gets me every single time. And, like, this is where the story really, really takes off. So now we know not only is Celaena, like, able to shift, well, when she's able to use her magic, she can shift and be Fae, and she has fire magic, and she's the long lost queen, and, like, all of the hints leading up to this leading up to this reveal that she's the queen, I just love seeing them, like even from the Assassin's Blade, where like Arobin makes some comment to her like, does Sam know about your past? Like, does he know who you really are? And she's like, shut up, like you need to stop talking. And we're always like left questioning, like, who are you really? What is in your past? And we hear about Celaena's parents dying and how she was there and like woke up soaked in their blood, and like all this stuff, all these little hints that led up to this. I just love that. I love it. Oh my god, I'm just so happy to be reading this series. I know I literally say that every time I reread the series, but it is just so incredible. I love it so much. I can't wait to dive into Heir of Fire now. Oh my god, I can't wait. So I will be vlogging for that as well. The next vlog is going to include Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, and since the books now get longer and longer, I'm gonna just keep it to those 2 books for the next vlog. So stay tuned for part 2 of my Throne of Glass reread vlogs. But yeah, I plan to read both of those in August, so hopefully the next vlog will be coming sometime in August or maybe early September, who knows. But yeah, those are all of my spoilery thoughts on the first 3 Throne of Glass books. Like I said, it just feels like coming home, and it's giving me so much nostalgia. It's making me so happy, and I just love it so much. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I will leave the playlist link down below for mine and Christina's live show discussions, where we go like in depth and talk about all of our thoughts, like very much in depth for the Throne of Glass series. I'll leave that link down below. But yeah, I wanted to do a vlog of me rereading it just because, you know, I just love it so much. I think in my next vlog, I'm going to do more of like, instead of me like sitting down and talking about the last 100 pages, I might just like pop in and do like a quick check-in for like every little thing that I want to talk about, but kind of like that style, and maybe get some of my like reactions to certain scenes and stuff, because I think that would be really fun. So again, stay tuned for that. But if you made it to the end of this video, you can leave the crossed swords emoji and the castle emoji down in the comments down below to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. Please let me know all of your thoughts on the Throne of Glass books. Keep it to just the first 3 for this at least, or if you're gonna say spoilers for later books, make sure you do like a big spoiler warning for it, because I don't want anybody to get accidentally spoiled if they have only read the first 3 books. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts. I want all the thoughts. Maybe your favorite quote from the first 3 books. Mine is definitely, you could rattle the stars, you could do anything if only you dared. Like, that's the most iconic. But like, there's just so many good quotes, and I just love Sarah's writing so much. So yeah, just let me know your favorite quote from the first 3 books down in the comments down below. If you're not already, please click subscribe so you don't miss my next vlog for the series. I hope you'll stick around, and I also will leave my Goodreads and my Instagram link down below if you want to follow me on there. I will be posting my annotations for Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight on there very soon, so if you wanted to see that, that's on there. And thank you again so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!